Soccer Nation, welcome to Soccer Queen USA. 40 years. Iraq waited 40 years to stand on this stage again, and what do they get on day one? Erling Haaland, on his World Cup debut. Hungry, furious, and carrying the weight of an entire nation on his back. Think about that for a second. The most lethal striker on the planet, 55 goals in 50 international appearances, has never played at a World Cup. Never. And the moment he finally arrives in Foxborough, Massachusetts, he's staring down a team that hasn't been here since 1986. Iraq, the Mesopotamian Lions, coached by an Australian, built on discipline, held together by pure grit and belief. Norway are favorites. The odds say it, the pundits say it, the stats scream it. But this is the World Cup, and I'm about to tell you exactly why this game is not as simple as everyone thinks. Welcome back. If you're new here, this channel is where soccer gets dissected properly. No hype without substance. No predictions without evidence. Now, let's set the scene. Tuesday, June 16th, 2026. Gillette Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts. Iraq versus Norway. Group 1, FIFA World Cup 2026. And this is not just another group stage opener. This match carries storylines that Hollywood couldn't script. Iraq, ranked 57th by FIFA, are returning to the World Cup for the first time since 1986, a 40-year absence. Let that land. An entire generation of Iraqi soccer fans has never seen their national team at this tournament. They weren't even certain they'd qualify. Iraq's governing bodies were alarmed enough to sack boss Jesus Casas following a defeat against Palestine in March 2025. Australian Graham Arnold was appointed 2 months later, inheriting a team at serious risk of elimination from the AFC qualifiers. Arnold steadied the ship, navigated the chaos, and delivered the miracle. Iraq booked their place with a dramatic 2-1 playoff win over Bolivia, the last team to qualify for this entire tournament. And they showed up anyway. On the other side, Norway, ranked 31st by FIFA, appearing at their 4th World Cup, but their first since 1998. 28 years in the wilderness. And now they arrive with arguably the most dangerous striker on earth. Erling Haaland scored 16 goals in just 8 qualifying matches, double the number of any other European player, at an average of 2.04 goals per 90 minutes. That's not a soccer. That's a force of nature. Tuesday will be the first ever meeting between Norway and Iraq. No history, no psychological edge, pure soccer. Today I'm going to cover 3 things. First, can Iraq's defensive structure actually contain Haaland? Second, does Norway have weaknesses that Iraq can genuinely exploit? And third, my bold prediction for how this game actually ends. Because it might surprise you. Let's get into it. Point 1. Iraq's defensive structure. Can it actually contain Haaland? Let's start with the elephant in the room. Or rather, the 6'4" Norwegian bulldozer in the room. Erling Haaland. 55 goals in 50 international appearances, 16 goals in 8 qualifying matches. A man who scored 38 goals for Manchester City this season alone. The numbers are obscene, and Iraq's defenders know exactly what's coming. Here's the thing most people miss, though. Iraq are not a naive, open team. Graham Arnold has built something disciplined, something structured, something that is genuinely hard to break down. Look at their pre-tournament form. They held Spain to a 1-1 draw. Spain, one of the tournament favorites. That is not an accident. That is a defensive game plan executed to near perfection. Their defensive spine is built on captain and goalkeeper Jalal Hassan. 103 caps, a veteran presence commanding his box with authority. Protected by center-backs Zaid Tassin and Rabin Sulaka. In front of them, Amir Al-Amari and Zidane Iqbal anchor a double pivot in a 4-2-3-1 that is specifically designed to compress space in central areas. And that matters, because Haaland feeds on space. He lives in the channel. He thrives when center-backs are pulled apart. When you compress the box, sit deep, and eliminate the runs in behind, Haaland becomes more isolated, more frustrated. You only have to look at how Manchester City struggled in certain Champions League knockout games when teams parked disciplined low blocks. It affects him. Now, am I saying Iraq will keep Haaland quiet all night? No, I'm not naive. But the mainstream narrative that this will be a Haaland demolition job by halftime? I think that's lazy analysis. Iraq will make it ugly. They will make it physical. They will make Norway earn every single centimeter of that pitch. The real danger for Iraq isn't actually Haaland in isolation. It's the combination play. Martin Odegaard pulling strings from midfield, Antonio Nusa exploding down the left with that terrifying pace, Alexander Sorloth offering a second aerial option. If Iraq's double pivot, Al-Amari and Zidane Iqbal, can't control the tempo in midfield and stop Odegaard from dictating, then the defensive structure collapses. Because you can't handle Haaland and Nusa and Sorloth simultaneously if your midfield has already been bypassed. Zidane Iqbal is the key. Born in Manchester to a Pakistani father and Iraqi mother, the FC Utrecht midfielder carries the responsibility of being Iraq's midfield shield and creative outlet. If he performs, Iraq stay in this game deep into the second half. If he's overwhelmed, Norway run riot. Point 2. Norway's weaknesses. Yes, they exist, and Iraq can exploit them. Now, here's where I'm going to challenge the consensus completely. Because everyone is talking about Norway's attacking brilliance. Nobody is talking about their defensive vulnerabilities. Norway's recent form has been mixed. Their build-up under Ståle Solbakken can be predictable. They want to go wide quickly, cross early, and serve Haaland. Which means when teams press their fullbacks aggressively and force the ball backwards, Norway can be disrupted in transition. And Iraq, when they counter, are dangerous. Ayman Hussein leads the line with over 30 international goals. He is physical, he holds the ball up brilliantly, and he links play for Ali Al-Hamadi and the runners from midfield. Ibrahim Bayesh and Ali Jassim on the flanks can carry the ball at speed. If Iraq absorb pressure for 60 minutes and then spring a counter, Hussein's hold-up play combined with Al-Hamadi's movement could create genuine moments. Consider this. The last time Norway faced an AFC nation competitively, Jordan, in September 2023, they won 6-0. People will throw that statistic at you, but Jordan and this Iraq side are completely different animals. Arnold's Iraq is structured, physical, and built for exactly this kind of game. That 6-0 tells you nothing about Tuesday. Here's my challenge to the mainstream. Norway have defensive questions at fullback. David Müller-Wolf is relatively inexperienced at this level. Julian Ryerson, while solid, can be caught high. If Iraq transition quickly and flood those channels in behind, there are goals to be scored. Is it likely? No. Is it possible? Absolutely. And in a World Cup group opener where nerves are real and momentum is everything, one Iraqi counterattack goal changes this entire match. Norway are not bulletproof, not even close. Point 3. The Graham Arnold factor. Why this coaching battle is more interesting than you think. Everyone is obsessing over Haaland versus the Iraqi defense. Fair enough, But the tactical chess match happening in the dugout, that's where this game could actually be decided. Ståle Solbakken is at his first World Cup as a head coach. He played in Norway's 1998 campaign as a player, 3 matches, round of 16 exit against Italy. He knows what this tournament means to his country. But knowing what it means and knowing how to navigate the pressure of a tournament opener are 2 different things entirely. And here's what nobody is saying. Graham Arnold is a genuinely underrated tournament coach. This is the man who guided Australia to the round of 16 at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. He knocked Denmark out. He took Australia past Tunisia. He engineered one of the great World Cup penalty shootout victories against Peru. The man knows how to set up a team defensively at a major tournament. He knows how to manage momentum. He knows how to keep a group believing when the odds are stacked against them. Arnold has had months to prepare Iraq specifically for this match. He's watched every Norway game. He knows Solbakken's system inside out. He knows Haaland's movement patterns, Odegaard's tendencies, Nusa's preferred cuts inside onto his right foot. Iraq will not be surprised by anything Norway throw at them. They will be organized, compact, and absolutely ready. Solbakken, on the other hand, faces a different psychological challenge. Norway are expected to win. The pressure to deliver sits entirely on their shoulders. When a team of Norway's quality faces a lower-ranked opponent at a major tournament, the expectation itself becomes the enemy. France against Senegal in the same group is generating all the headlines. Iraq versus Norway could easily feel like a routine exercise. And that is exactly the kind of complacency Arnold will have weaponized in his team talk. The moment Norway starts slow, start sloppy, start assuming the goals will come, Iraq will punish them. Not through brilliance, through belief and organization. This coaching dynamic is massively underappreciated, and it matters. Iraq will not lose this game by more than 1 goal. And there is a genuine, not theoretical, not romantic, not hopeful, but genuine possibility that Iraq take a point from this match. There, I said it. Here's exactly why I believe that, and I'm not backing down from it. Norway's opener jitters are real. Haaland has never played a World Cup game in his life. The weight of that debut, the expectation, the cameras, the noise, affects even the greatest players. Ronaldo was quiet in Portugal's group openers. Messi struggled in Argentina's early World Cup matches for years. Haaland is human, and Iraq are going to make his first World Cup experience as uncomfortable and physical and miserable as they possibly can. Iraq drew 1-1 with Spain in a friendly. They beat Bolivia in a playoff when everything was on the line. This is a team that performs under pressure. This is a team that does not panic. Arnold's 4-2-3-1 will sit deep, absorb waves of Norwegian pressure, and wait. Patiently, ruthlessly, for their moment. Will Iraq win? Probably not. I'll be honest with you. Norway's quality across the squad is too deep, and at some point Haaland or Odegaard or Nusa will find the opening. But a 1-0 Norway win, tight, nervy, unconvincing, is the most likely outcome. Not a 3-0 stroll, not a Haaland hat trick by the hour mark. And if Iraq score first, this stadium in Foxborough erupts. Norway panic. And suddenly we're talking about one of the great World Cup upsets. I'm telling you right now, do not sleep on Iraq. Do not write them off before a single ball has been kicked. The upset is on, and the world isn't ready for it. The summary, the verdict, the question. Right, let's bring it all together. 3 points, 3 things we established today. 1. Iraq's defensive structure under Graham Arnold is genuinely organized, disciplined, and built specifically to frustrate teams exactly like Norway. This will not be a walkover. 2. Norway have real weaknesses, particularly at fullback and in transition, that Iraq's counterattacking weapons, Hussein, Al-Hamadi, Bayesh, can absolutely exploit if the double pivot of Zidane Iqbal and Al-Hamadi controls the midfield battle. 3. The coaching dynamic is being completely ignored by mainstream analysts, and Graham Arnold's tournament experience gives Iraq a tactical edge that nobody is giving them credit for. And the verdict? One more time, even bolder than before. Norway win this game, but not comfortably, not convincingly, and not without suffering. A 1-0 Norway victory is the most probable outcome. Tight, nervy, decided by a moment of individual Haaland or Odegaard brilliance, rather than tactical dominance. But Iraq leave Gillette Stadium with their heads high, their defensive reputation intact, and genuine belief that they can take points off France or Senegal in their remaining group games. And here's the thing that should genuinely terrify every Norway fan watching this right now. If Haaland has an off night, which happens even to him, and Iraq nick a goal on the counter through Ayman Hussein, Norway could be staring down the barrel of their worst possible start to a World Cup campaign. 1 point from their opener against the supposed weakest team in Group 1. The pressure that follows would be immense. This is the World Cup. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is inevitable. And if 2022 taught us anything, Saudi Arabia beating Argentina, Japan beating Germany, Morocco reaching the semifinals, it's that the biggest tournament in soccer does not care about your rankings, your reputations, or your superstar strikers. Iraq 1986 is ancient history. Iraq 2026 is a completely different story. And Graham Arnold is writing it, one disciplined defensive performance at a time. Now here's the debate question I want you to answer in the comments right now. And I want a proper answer, not a one-word reply. Should Norway start Alexander Sorloth alongside Haaland in a 4-4-2 to overload Iraq's defense? Or does Solbakken stick with the 4-3-3 and trust Odegaard to unlock them through the middle? That tactical decision could genuinely define how this game unfolds. Get in the comments, fight it out. I read every single one. And if you made it to the end of this video, you already know this channel is different. We don't do surface level here. We go deep. Every match, every analysis, every prediction. If that's what you want from your soccer content, hit subscribe. It costs you nothing, and you will never miss another breakdown like this one. Iraq versus Norway, tonight, Foxborough. It's going to be special. Don't look away.